welcome back to Still Waters ASMR. It's quite a calm day today, so I thought I'd take you out for another Croft update. It's been a while since we last had one, because it's been really windy and I don't like filming in the wind because then you just get noise. So these are all of our 20 breeding yows. Sadly, it's going to be just 18 this year, because I don't know if you can see that one right there. She's currently on 3 legs, which is heartbreaking because she's one of our best yows. She's such a good mother and she's my favourite, and it's absolutely heartbreaking, but unfortunately the reality of farming is that she's damaged her knee and my husband's tried everything he can for her, but it's the end of the line for her, unfortunately. She said it's heartbreaking for me because I love her to bits. She's such a good mother. This year with her lamb, like, my husband was trying to sort of deal with the lamb. Oh, there's a little birdie just over here in amongst that wire. My husband was trying to see to her lamb after it was born, and she just kept licking it even while he was holding it. That lady. Down she goes. Pretty wife. She's a lovely sheep. So these are all Shetland Cheviot Cross sheep. These are our ladies. So they're down here in this sort of lower field, which is just down below our house. The house is just up there. The sun's right behind it, so you can't see it very well. I've got the beach down here, so the tide is currently sort of half in. There's quite a lot of water coming down the river at the moment because we've had a lot of heavy rain. The farm over there, I've got, I think they're Clydesdales, a couple of them. It's either Clydesdales or Shires, I can't remember which. And then there's some Shetland ponies over there. So these are our breed mamas. They're getting on now. They're 5 or 6. Oh, there's a little sparrow in there. So we've had so many little birds around the place lately that we've been keeping the cats in. We're going to keep the cats in after baby arrives anyway, to force them to get kind of used to the concept. And then we've had a lot of migratory birds in the garden, so we've just been keeping them in to stop them from killing everything. They have collars with bells, but that still doesn't stop them. We've even had a blue tit in the garden the other day, which my husband was quite excited because he's never actually seen one in person before, because it's not something you normally get in Shetland. They're quite common down on mainland UK, but it's not something we normally get this far north. So we've had them, and saw some more lying down. That one there's wondering if I've got anything. I'm standing on the stile. So I'm currently 38 weeks pregnant, so I have to be careful not to fall off of here. That would be a bit of a disaster. I've got a couple more days here and then I have to go down and stay with my parents until baby arrives, because it's too remote here to stay here until I have baby. So yeah, this is our yows. Now I'm gonna attempt keeping recording and toddle over and show you our 2 rams. So these are the yows, and then over here, so little Flora used to be down in that field there. She's now gone to another home because I was quite late, getting a bit big and was finding it difficult to carry buckets of water and things. I've actually recently trapped a nerve in my lower back, which is quite a nuisance. So that machine there is our hay bob. That is what spreads out the hay so it can dry out, and then it can help bunch it back up again so that you can pick it up with the baler. That is a rotten bale of haylage, which needs to be disposed of. And this here is our stacks of haylage, which collapsed at some point. It was all in a neat pile, but a bunch of them fell down. So that is our haylage. Haylage is like a cross between hay and silage. It's kind of wet hay. It's quite rich. And then over there are our two rams. So you guys have met Tex previously in previous videos. He's our old boy. And let's see if he comes over when he spies me. And we've got a new ram I've called Frank. And it was meant to be that when the new ram came, then Tex was going to get sort of disposed of, because he's an old boy. But I managed to convince my husband to let us keep him for at least another year, because he's such a lovely sweetheart, and he's a good ram. So I succeeded, and he'll be staying with us for another year. Here we come. I might stop recording and call them over, because they are just sweet peas. So they're both Texel rams. Texels are quite a nice, tame, friendly breed. They're really quite good-natured. So Tex, the old guy, he must be like 7 or 8 or maybe even 9. He's quite an old ram. He's an old boy, and Frank is only like a year old. He's still a youngster. And we were worried how they were going to get on together. Hang on, I'm going to call them over. Okay, here they come. So Frank is the one that's on the upper side. He's kind of at the front now, and Tex is kind of bringing up the rear. They did have a bit of an argy-bargy when they first arrived. There was a bit of headbutting and a little bit of bloodshed. Frank bust his horn, but they soon settled down and seem to be getting on okay. They have a little bit of shoulder barging now still, but they're getting on good. I think Frank might need his feet seen too. Look at this, guys. Aren't they sweet? Hello, sweet pea. Hello, my sweetie pie. Look at you. Look at you. He is just my favourite. All the neighbours love him because he's such a sweetheart. Yes, oh, you smell like sheep. And then here's Frank. Unbiased. I think Tex is far cuter and far more handsome. We're still getting to know Frank. We're not getting into the field with them because Frank is still a bit of an unknown. And I'm pregnant, so I'm not going to do anything to risk me or baby right now. And getting into a field with a couple of rams isn't the smartest. I mean, Tex I trust with my life, so I would happily be in with him. But not when there's another. He's having a sniff at my staff. But yeah, they're just sweethearts, aren't you? I mean, they're looking for food, but they also really quite like head scratches. So they will be going in with the ladies middle of November. With the idea being lambing will then be middle of April. See this? Be good. So yeah, we're basically aiming for middle April lambing, which is a bit earlier for us. This last year we lambed during May. Our first lamb I think was that a good spot right there? Oh, that's a good spot. The back legs going. Oh, have we found a good spot? Oh, is that a good spot? Just like a dog. Is that nice, huh? Stop messing the fence up. Stop that with the fence. Get out the fence, thank you. Yeah, this last year, oh, is that a good spot? Oh, the going. That is cute. But yeah, oh, are you a happy boy? Are you a happy boy? What was I saying? Yes, this year we lambed, like the first lamb was born sort of beginning of May, and the last lamb was born the 1st of June, which was really quite late. We don't really like them coming that late. Because the problem with that is that they're not very big when it comes to sale time. Our sheep were quite small at the sales this year. So this last year, Tex was the only daddy. And he did a good job. We had a really rough January, February, March time with bad storms. He likes these bits being scratched. See, Texels have got these like droopy forward ears, and then Cheviets have got quite sticky up ears. But yeah, so we sold off all the boy lambs from last year, and with them we got enough money to be able to buy Tex, which was quite good. So the boy lambs were all castrated, they'll all go for meat. You put a little rubber band on them when they're born, and then... Oh, you are just a sweet pea, aren't you? Yes, you are just a sweet pea. Aren't you just a sweet pea? Oh, you like the scratches. Oh. Yeah, he's proven to be quite a sweet-natured little guy. Which is good. He bust his horn when him and Tex were figuring out who was boss. And he had like blood running all down his face, and our neighbour got really upset. She was really worried that he was badly hurt, but thankfully there was no serious damage. It can be known that rams can end up killing each other when they're figuring out who's boss, but thankfully neither of this pair are overly aggressive. They're both quite peaceable little souls, so they had a bit of a to-do while they figured it out, but apparently Tex knocked Frank clean over onto his side. Our neighbour was sitting watching out their house and just fascinated. They've moved here from down in England somewhere, and I think they enjoy the nature programme out their window. Who needs to watch Countryfile when you have it outside your front window? So yeah, these are our rams. So as I said, they're a really good breed for being really docile. One of our neighbours, their little girls, absolutely love Tex. We did warn them about Frank, that because he's a new, unknown factor, that they shouldn't let the girls, because they're just little kids, they shouldn't let them go in the field with them just yet. But I think Frank's going to be a good boy. Yes, you're going to be a good boy. When he first came, he was a bit like head-butty and a bit foot-stampy, but he seems to be melling quite nicely. They're just sitting chewing the cud. Ain't you darlings? Ain't you darlings? Look at that big head. Look at that big head. So, I mean, I'm biased. I think they're just wonderful. So this year we're going to put both rams in with the ladies. What you do is you put... Tex is getting Raddle, which is a brightly coloured paste that you basically paint onto his chest, and then when he mounts the ladies, then it marks them. And then we're getting a harness for Frank, and we're going to use different colours. So we'll use orange and yellow for Tex, and green and blue for Frank. So you put one colour on, and then a few weeks later you switch colours, so then you know which, depending on what colour the yows end up being, you know if they were like in the first few weeks or the second few weeks. And we leave the rams in with them for 3 or 4 weeks. Some people do a whole bunch of fancy stuff to encourage the ladies all to come in to heat at the same time, and that way it gives you a really short lambing. But we kind of just let it all happen fairly naturally. I mean, we're just a small little outfit, so both boys will go in and service the ladies, and then we'll see what we get in terms of lambs in the new year. And this year I won't be pregnant at lambing time, so I can get involved. These guys are just such sweethearts. So my phone's complaining that it's about to run out of battery, so I am gonna go, but I was gonna toddle up and show you the lambs, but we'll see how much battery I have left. So yeah, take care, and I'll catch you again sometime soon. Alrighty, there might be a bit more wind up here because we're further up the hill, but this is my bit of Croft. This is one of our good hay fields, and these are the female lambs from this year, and next year they will be joining our flock as breeding ewes. And there's some really good looking sheep in here. So these are half Texel, quarter Cheviot and quarter Shetland. And I'm biased, but I think they're really good looking lambs. And Toots, my caddy lamb, is in amongst here. She's doing well to adapting to being a sheep, so she doesn't come running over to me anymore. Sometimes if I call to her, she'll call back, but she'll normally just carry on munching grass being a sheep, which is good because caddy lambs can be notoriously difficult to work with because they don't know that they're sheep. But she seems to be embracing being a sheep quite nicely. And then this field here is mine as well. It's another one of our hay fields. At the back there's a garage, and then this big field over here is mine as well. And the little house there has just recently been purchased by some people from England who've renovated it. But that field there is it's just grazing. It's not used for much else. It's quite rough ground and full of stones. It's called Hammers Garth or something like that. Hammers Park or something like that, and it's basically just because it's full of hard rock. Let's see if I can toddle through the field without disturbing them too much, because they're all having a wee lie down. I don't want to disturb them too much, so I'm going to stick up to the fence line. And then there's another bit of field down in that bottom corner there that's also mine. And then I also have a bit of land that's way up the valley, randomly separate from everything else. That's a bit of a boggy mess. Again, not much use for anything, unless we maybe do some drainage. But yeah, these are our girls. And there's some more over there. So we've got 16 girls. And then with 18 ewes, older ewes that they'll be joining. That one there had its head just in the air, it was quite cute. So yeah, little sheepsies. I'm biased, I think they're gorgeous. So yeah, it's these are our sheepies. We're at a good time of the year for baby to arrive, where most of the hard work has been done on the Croft. In fact, all the hard work really is just putting the rams in with the breeding ewes, and then over the winter just making sure everybody's fed and has like mineral licks and water and that kind of thing. And other than that, just that's kind of us until sort of lambing time. And then the year starts with earnest and we get really busy with lambing and hay and everything else. So let's maybe go for a toddle this way a bit more. So there's like the little river that runs all the way down through. So I don't know if you can see, like, over there is a bit of my field. It's like way down at the bottom of the valley, quite a piece further up. Oh, baby's wriggling as I'm walking, which makes it really uncomfortable. So yeah, some fine looking sheepies. That one there cocking its head at us. So yeah, my other bit of field is way over here, down at the bottom of the valley, just by the river. Well, the little barn. So yeah, these are our ladies. Well, our girls will be ladies next year. And then over there is the end of the hay barn. In fact, let's go have a look in the hay barn. Okay, so we don't have much battery left, so this will die at any time. This is our hay barn, which when it's full of hay smells amazing. I mean, it has some hay in it just now, so it does smell quite good. It's an old barn that's had a new roof put on it. It's got some random tyres, some hay. These are bags of wool. Wool prices this year have been horrendous because of coronavirus. And so this is my little hay barn. And this is like the little tiny half-height door which we'll duck out of. And I will show you. So that's a really cute little house there that some other people have, and then that's our house down here at the bottom, well, half of it, and then that's our buyer, and this is the